Hi, thank you for having me back again.
So, Joe, you're going to be giving us an alternative to the standard Islamic narrative, and of course, the big thing really in providing an alternative narrative is to try and get a holistic view. And
Yeah,
you are going to be talking about that today. Really, do you want to introduce
yeah.
the basic idea?
Okay, thank you. Yes, so I will try to explain it. This is going to be difficult because um, most people are not familiar with what Noahites are, and even less people are probably familiar with a dead religion of Mithraism.
Yeah.
So it could be difficult. But the idea is that well, if people have been looking at the Wikinoa website, or if they know me before, that Noahism is basically the idea that there are any religion in the world, any belief system can be, if it is organized or arranged in a way which is compatible with Judaism, then it's called a Noahide faith from the Jewish point of view, and it's considered that those faiths are, from the Jewish point of view, those faiths are valid ways of worshiping God.
Can I just jump in? Actually,
there are, yeah.
Sorry, just to jump in from, say, to kind of give the same sort of thing from a Catholic point of view. In Vatican II,
Yeah.
it talks about different religions and faiths as having the seeds of the gospel. So in other words, the idea that we can see
Right.
elements of Christianity in, say, other world religions. So we kind of say, well, we don't reject anything that is good or holy that we see in those other religions. We're not saying they are the same as us, but we're saying, okay,
Yes.
this is the part that we can say, yes, we appreciate the fact that you pray, we appreciate that you try and not steal from each other or kill each other and stuff like that. Maybe there's elements that we reject, but we're kind of trying to say, right, this is our common ground, this is what we accept. So I see a kind of a parallel view here with the Noahites there.
Yes, what were they called? It was in Dante's Inferno, as I remember. There was a reference to this. What they call them, and in fact, in Dante's Inferno, they refer to Salahuddin as one of these. But there's a phrase for it. Actually, there's actually a theological phrase for it. I've come across it in Christianity before. So we call them the righteous ones from amongst the nations.
Yeah,
I think it might be something similar for but they exist. The concept exists that people who have never heard of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob may be guided by virtue of their own sort of when a pagan behaves like righteousness or obeys the law without knowing it, then they are somehow, what how do you judge those people? They're at a different sort of level of normal pagans. They're not like normal pagans. So you're going to say something.
It reminds me very much of the court of the Gentiles concept in the Second Temple.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, so it's the idea that, there's a space there for them, and you still have the Holy of Holies in the center.
Exactly.
And so you have the core there, but there's a space, if you like, for the non-Jews. So they're being kind of recognized for the aspects which are agreeable to Judaism. Okay, so that's fine.
That's absolutely correct. In fact, mentioning the court of the Gentiles is so importantly relevant to what I'm just about to talk to, because that court of the Gentiles, and those Gentiles would have been called Noahites in Orthodox Judaism. We call them Noahites, Bnei Noach, children of Noah, and then there's actually a biblical term for them, Gerim, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on. So, and as you would have noticed, of course, at the court of the Gentiles, they would have been Romans, and there would have been a lot of Mithrians amongst those, because Mithraism was actually big at that time. Yeah. So, but how do you adjust your religion to make it compatible with Judaism? And that was given in the Book of Acts. In the Book of Acts, chapter 15, it talks. They wrote unto the Gentiles who were respecting God's name, and they said, as long as you observe these several conditions, don't kill, don't abstain from blood and sexual immorality, and the other things in Acts chapter 15, it makes the list of them. Yeah. Then they'll be okay. You won't be required to circumcise and observe all the laws. You'll be saved from the Christian point of view. That's actually was taken from Judaism. That is the stance in Judaism. It's ultimately comes from the Bible when they talk about the Gerim, the pilgrims, or the resident aliens in Torah. So that's what the Noahite concept is. And the idea is that since this could be from any religion, you can have a Buddhist Noahite, you can have a Christian Noahite, you could have a Hindu Noahite, you can have Noahites from any religion in the world, as long as adjustment to their religion. Then naturally, therefore, also you could have Mithraic Noahites. But and the idea is that this Mithraic Noahites is probably where Islam comes from. And if we can look at this narrative, it's sort of consistently. So that's what I have a consistent alternative to the standard Islamic narrative based on this Mithraic Noahite idea.
I can